Hello, welcome to this week's podcast episode of Learn English with the News, episode 8. And I'm here with my glorious host, co-host Dan. He's here. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan. Hello, everyone. How are we doing?
All good. I'm speaking for everyone. How's your week been? Good?
Yeah, plodding along. We're doing all right. It's getting a bit chilly, though. How about your side?
It's cold. It's cold. It is indeed cold. But just been doing some renovation work on my house. But apart from that, all good. I'm knackered. Maybe you can see that. I'm using a better camera this week, so people probably definitely can see that. Unfortunately, all the wrinkle lines are out today. Okay, let's get into today. So basically, if you haven't watched this or listened to this podcast before, we learn English with the news. We're going to help you understand the difficult words that come up when you read a news story. In this podcast, we look at 2 international news stories and 1 British-based local news story, and we assess the vocabulary. We also do some pronunciation practice so you can improve your speaking skills. Let's get into it. But first, if you want a little bit extra, there is a free PDF with all of the articles and an extended word vocabulary list in there. So please go and check it out. It's free. It's there. It's for you. So please use it to improve your English. Let's get into the first article for today. The first article is that the US considers allowing Ukraine to use long-range missiles against Russia. Actually, this has already been confirmed. This is a little bit late, this story, but I prepared it last week, and it's already started to happen, hasn't it? But anyway, let's get into the first paragraph we're going to go through. I'll read through once, and then we'll assess the vocabulary, then we'll go to the next paragraph. Let's go. In a significant policy shift, the United States has authorized Ukraine to utilize US-supplied long-range missiles to target Russian territory, marking a pivotal escalation in the ongoing conflict. This decision, announced on November 17th, 2024, permits Ukraine to employ Army Tactical Missile Systems, ATACMS, with a range of up to 190 miles, enabling strikes deep within Russian borders. Okay, this is obviously not fantastic news in my opinion, but let's get into the vocabulary before the chat. Territory.
Or so territory.
Territory.
Yeah. Territory. There's a lot of letters missing. An area or land under a country's control. It could be just a specific area around the city or a county in England, or just any kind of area or land that's controlled by a specific country is a territory.
If you were someone who bought an island, would you technically classify that as a territory because you are not classified as a country?
Could be, innit? Like, first of all, I'd be rich enough that I wouldn't care. But
you'll be watching this video.
But you know what I mean? Like, probably, yeah, it's not a country, is it? But is it a country? No, it's not a country. It'll probably belong to another country. It'd be a territory of whatever group of islands, probably. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. The next one is permit. Or permit, I should say.
I'm going to say, is this a
we should talk about this, actually. Yeah. There's a verb and a noun difference here, isn't there? We pronunciation. Noun, permit, and verb, permit.
And stress is on the second one for the verb,
yes,
right?
Is the verb.
So to permit something, it's another way of saying like allow, to allow something to happen. You tell somebody it's okay to do whatever they're doing. You permit it.
So I permit you to say many jokes on this podcast.
Try my best. That's what I'm here for.
Now I've put the spotlight on you, unfortunately.
That's it. Well, it turns out under pressure, I'm going to wilt. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely so. So in reference to the other version, though, the noun, just for the extra information, the noun is authorization for something.
Yeah, it's usually a written document that tells you you're allowed to do something.
Usually a physical thing, yeah.
Yeah, especially like if you're going to build an extra part of your house or something, you'll have to get a permit from the local government or whatever.
Yeah, that's right, for planning permission or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, well, actually, we've kind of got the similar situation here. Employ.
Yeah, so to employ, usually people know this from work, like an employee is employed by the company to do a job, right? But in this case, we're saying use something for a specific purpose. Yeah. To employ something, to employ this podcast as part of your English learning.
Yeah. Yes. So you're making use of that thing.
Mm.
You are starting to use, or you are using something in order to get something from it, aren't you?
Sure.
But you could say that about people as well. That's probably why we have the connection between the two. It happens quite a lot in English where you'll see a word that you're familiar with, like employ. This person has been employed or something that you're probably used to within job settings. And then you'll see it used slightly in a slightly unusual place, like this one. But there's probably some similarity. Sometimes you just have to take it back a step. What is the point of this? So, an employee, we're employing them to really do a task or something for you, aren't they? They're there to pursue a goal, and similarly with this version with things. Yeah. And last one from this paragraph: enable.
Enable to make something possible, I suppose. Like the opposite of disable, where you, like on your phone, you can disable notifications. You turn off the ability for that to happen. Or enable is the opposite. You turn it on and allow it to happen. So yeah, to make something possible or allow something to happen.
Yeah, it's a perfect example. Yeah, enable. You can enable the mute settings or something on your phone, can't you?
Yeah, like enable notifications is a big one. You'll see on your phone.
Great one. Or disable, yeah. You do see it on the phone a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, the decision announced on November 17th, 2024 permits Ukraine, so it allows Ukraine to employ a missile system to use with a range of up to 190 miles, allowing them to strike deep within Russian borders.
Yeah, make it possible, yeah.
Yeah, make it possible, yeah. So next bit, I've broken this one into two paragraphs, but we're going to go through these. Let's go on to the second paragraph. The authorization follows extensive deliberations within the U.S. Administration, weighing the potential risks of escalating tensions against the strategic advantage of bolstering Ukraine's defense capabilities. President Joe Biden's decision reflects a commitment to support Ukraine amid Russia's continued military aggression. Ukrainian officials have welcomed the move, viewing it as a critical enhancement of their military arsenal. The foreign minister stated that the long-range missiles would serve as a game changer in countering Russian advances and protecting Ukrainian sovereignty. And I had a mayor there. So didn't go well. Have a mayor not go well. But
as in nightmare, by the way, that is have a nightmare. Yeah.
Good. Not referring to a female horse.
I mean, you could have a mare. Maybe, I don't know how you're living your life. Maybe you've got horses around back garden. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no gardens in Japan. Well, there are, but they're kind of limited. Okay, we got some great words in here, some large ones and some tricky ones. Let's go through them. Deliberation.
Yeah, good one. The verb deliberate, as in to carefully think about something. So this is deliberation is the idea, like the concept of thinking about something deeply or discussing something deeply, I suppose.
Yes, that's right. So the authorization follows extensive deliberations within the U.S. administration. They've been talking about it for a while, apparently.
It's not just an off-the-cuff decision. It's like...
Yeah. And they had in-depth discussions about this topic, I guess. Yeah, You'd hope so. Bolster.
Yeah, it's an interesting word, isn't it? Bolster. I mean, you probably hear it more related to military stuff, like to add numbers or to increase or to strengthen or something like that.
As well, don't you?
Yeah, the bolster the squad. Yeah. This is where you can make your Tottenham joke for the week.
Tottenham have been desperate to bolster for many years after wasting tons of money on rubbish players. Okay, bolster to strengthen or to support.
They're trying to bolster their trophy cabinet.
I need to bolster my joke selection on Tottenham. Okay, so to strengthen or to support something here.
Cool.
Enhancement.
Yeah, so maybe people know the word enhance as in to make better or to improve, to add to something, to increase the quality of something. Yeah, generally make it better.
Yes, yes, exactly that. I'm going to chuck another one in here. Arsenal. Up the Arsenal! It's not a football
Is that
reference.
another dig at Tottenham?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So Arsenal, well, actually, it's a very useful one to learn about because then you get a bit more understanding about their nickname. The football club's nickname
Sure.
is the Gunners. So
Yeah.
what the hell does that mean? You
Yeah.
know?
So Arsenal, not just a football team. Generally, it's the weapons or something that an army has, the equipment that an army has. Like as a group, when we describe the whole thing, we'll call it the arsenal. You know,
Hmm.
for example, military arsenal, like the amount of weapons that they have to use.
Yeah, spot
But
on.
we also use it a bit more theoretically, like somebody's skills can be their arsenal.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know,
great point. That is a really, really good point. You're completely right. Yeah. So what is your arsenal? You can tell us in the comments. What are your skills
yeah.
you use to attack the day with?
Yeah.
Um, yes, that's it. Arsenal.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what I was going to mention, I lost my train of thought. Is the logo is a double gun, isn't it, or two?
Yeah, it is like a cannon or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So that comes. There's all to do with some kind of
Yeah,
weaponry.
they're called the gunners because, weapon,
Yeah.
gun, cannon, so on and so forth.
I wonder if that originated from maybe the team started around World War One.
It could be, or it could
Could
be just like the location where there was like castles and stuff around London, didn't they? Like, so
be that.
could be
Sort
like
of,
there was a storage facility nearby or whatever.
but they usually the nicknames of clubs usually are related to the past, somewhere very far in the past. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
So, I mean, as an example from my neck of the woods, Sheffield Wednesday,
hmm.
called the Owls because they were founded in a place called Owlerton, which is a
Well,
part of
that's an
Sheffield.
interesting fact. They're not just the fond of owls.
No, they don't just like buzz on owl. I mean, they do, but but it's because Owlerton, and they're called Sheffield Wednesday because it was the Sheffield United cricket team that started meeting on a Wednesday to play football.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah,
So,
sure.
because it's such a weird team name, Sheffield Wednesday, like what?
Yeah. It's a unique one, isn't it? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, and then game changer.
I feel like we've had this one before, but I think it's good to go back to it. It's something that will completely change a situation. Like if a situation is going badly and a game changer is introduced, the situation will improve probably after that.
Yeah, that's right.
So, going back to the football analogy, like somebody could like put a sub on in the 75th minute and he's a game changer and scores and completely switches things around.
Yeah, 100%. A turning point, essentially. Yeah,
Yeah.
turning.
Usually we use it to describe a thing that causes a turning point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the thing that, what do you say? Sea change?
Yeah.
A
Sea of change.
change in the tide or something like this. We have a lot of
Yeah.
water.
Weird bunch of weird expressions about that.
Yeah, totally. Okay, nice. Now let's go through the pronunciation for this article.
Ooh.
So here are the tricky words from here. Here we go. First one is missile.
Not missile.
Oh, yeah, I know. As I was saying, I was like, I've just used the American pronunciation there, haven't I? Do you know why? It's because before the session, I was thinking, oh, that's interesting. American and British is different. A missile.
Yeah, I think
missile.
I would say the same as you though, missile. But
It's
missile.
Yeah,
missile seems more American. Like, oh my God, it's a missile.
Now you've doubled.
Why do I start every American impression with, oh my God?
Oh my
Like,
God.
in my head, that's what they all say. Oh my God.
Got to get into the zone. Oh, yeah.
Missile.
You're completely right. Missile is the American. That's interesting. So yeah, missile is obviously the
British English.
British English. That's why I did do the correct.
Did the right one. Don't worry.
I was thinking like between the two before the session as well.
But you hear missile a lot more, I think, because the American TV and stuff are all subject to. Yeah. Anyway, missile, isn't it? Missile.
So missile. Deliberations. Weighing, silent, a lot of silent letters there. Bolstering, Arsenal, arsenal. I think that's quite a tricky one, especially the ending again at naught, you know. And sovereignty. Sovereignty. Okay,
Cool.
nice. Should we get on to some shadowing?
Sure.
So I'll read through first. If you want to practice your pronunciation, you can roll on along with us, and you could either you should practice both, I think, but they're both good for not just pronunciation, but also your listening skills because my accent's from the south of England, Dan's accent's from the north of England. So we're giving you a bit of variety here, okay? So I'm going to start. I'm going to go through the whole thing. You can play along, you can speak along with me, or you could just practice your listening skills. See if those words we taught you are sinking in a little bit. You know? So here we go. In a significant policy shift, the United States has authorized Ukraine to utilize US supplied long range missiles to target Russian territory, marking a pivotal escalation in the ongoing conflict. This decision, announced on November 17th, 2024, permits Ukraine to employ Army tactical missile systems with a range of up to 190 miles, enabling strikes deep within Russian borders. The authorization follows extensive deliberations within the US administration, weighing the potential risks of escalating tensions against the strategic advantage of bolstering Ukraine's defense capabilities. President Joe Biden's decision reflects a commitment to supporting Ukraine amid Russia's continued military aggression. Ukrainian officials have welcomed the move, viewing it as a critical enhancement of their military arsenal. The foreign minister stated that the long-range missiles would serve as a game changer in countering Russian advances and protecting Ukrainian sovereignty.
Good work, mate. Nice. A little wobble when we got to missile, but
it's in the second line as well. I got it right the first time, and then it's because I've highlighted it in blue to remind me we're going to practice the pronunciation, and then it's like
just caught you off guard, hasn't it?
Your area, dude. You know. Okay, here we go. We're going to Dan's turn now. Hopefully,
a quick wet of the whistle.
Wet the whistle. Wet the whistle.
Right then. In a significant policy shift, the United States has authorized Ukraine to utilize US-supplied long-range missiles to target Russian territory, marking a pivotal escalation in the ongoing conflict. This decision, announced on November 17th, 2024, permits Ukraine to employ Army tactical missile systems, ATACMS, I don't know, with a range of up to 190 miles, enabling strikes deep within Russian borders. The authorization follows extensive deliberations within the US administration, weighing the potential risks of escalating tensions against the strategic advantage of bolstering Ukraine's defense capabilities. President Joe Biden's decision reflects a commitment to supporting Ukraine amid Russia's continued military aggression. Ukrainian officials have welcomed the move, viewing it as a critical enhancement of their military arsenal. The foreign minister stated that the long-range missiles, damn it, would serve as a game changer in countering Russian advances and protecting Ukrainian sovereignty.
There you go. It's one of those times when you think about it too much and then it kind of affects you as well. That's what lots of students do that just in general, don't they? Okay, this topic, let's talk about it quickly. So, obviously, in my opinion, this is a terrible idea.
It seems to be another inevitable step to a bigger conflict, doesn't it? Like, I mean, it's like a catch-22 situation. There's there's no winner here, you know?
No. It does feel like it's like a last-ditch move from the president that's leaving.
It does feel like that. It's like, well, I'm on my way out. So
not that nothing's been happening. Of course, there's been a lot of stuff happening in Ukraine and the side of Russia as well. And obviously, it's always, in my opinion, it'd be better if there were nothing going on. But there was no big stories coming out. Nothing that looked like it was going to antagonize another person in a severe way. This is just like, you know,
throwing petrol on a bonfire, isn't it? Really?
That's good expression. It's exactly that. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's hard because, you know, like you said, it'd be better if nothing was happening. There's no conflict at all. Like, that's the goal. That's what we want. And I think that's what everybody wants, really. is to live in a world where there's not, military conflict happening all the time. But that's not the world we live in. That is happening. So you have to kind of deal with the reality of things. But either way, it seems like Team America World Police, isn't it? Like getting involved and
America.
yeah. I'm glad you got the reference. But it does feel like that. I think but then again, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you don't do something, it's a problem. If you do something, it's a problem.
Well, what would be great is if someone was going in there and trying to get them to talk. Because to be honest, it doesn't feel like, in my opinion, it doesn't feel like there's anything happening in that kind of front.
Mm.
And it doesn't, like, you rarely see on the news or anything that they're trying to have talks or something like this. And this just for me feels like, obviously we know that Trump has said that he can stop it immediately, which I don't know if that's possible, but it does feel weird that now the guy's going out, that suddenly they make such in my opinion, drastic,
it's a huge thing, isn't it?
Decision, considering they have told them not to do it as well. For a while. So
they've had these missile systems for a long time.
Exactly, yeah.
But we were they would tell, because I think there's some from UK as well. Like they've got some UK missiles and they're like, don't use them. They're kind of like a deterrent, I suppose.
Yeah.
But suddenly, it did come a bit out of left field, didn't it? Like just suddenly.
It was a bit of a head scratcher.
But
yeah, I guess
I don't know. Anything to de-escalate, in my opinion, is better.
Yeah, 100%. There's too much on the line for the need for. There's no need to antagonize each other. Basically, yeah. Let's just move. Let's just try not to
do that. Let's try go other way. It's probably better.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway,
yeah, pretty heavy one to start off with. But you've got to talk about it with
heavy
this
one.
week,
But this is one that has popped up, isn't it? Yeah. Next one is heavy, but in a slightly different way. So the Article 2 is the title is Spain's floods among Europe's worst storm disasters. Okay.
Yeah.
But this time we've got two small paragraphs that we're going to read through for the first section and then two small paragraphs for the second section. So here we go. In late October 2024, the Valencia region of Spain experienced catastrophic flooding, resulting in one of Europe's most severe storm disasters in recent history. Within an 8-hour period, certain areas received rainfall equivalent to an entire year's average, leading to widespread devastation. The deluge caused rivers to overflow, inundating towns and villages and sweeping away vehicles, homes, and infrastructure. Emergency services were overwhelmed as they conducted rescue operations for residents trapped by the rapidly rising waters. The floods resulted in significant casualties and left thousands displaced.
Jeez.
Deluge.
Deluge, I think. Deluge. Like Del Boy, Deluge. Maybe you'll remember that.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
Down the market, down the deli. Okay, so first word is catastrophic.
Like proper bad.
Yeah.
Extremely bad, extremely dangerous, extremely harmful. It's the stuff has hit the fan,
Stuff has hit the fan. That's what I mean. It's a catastrophe. It's becoming
bloody terrible.
That sounds so passive, but very British. That's the way we do it. Oh, that's awful. You could hear someone.
It's like the same reaction for like the bakeries run out of cherry bakewells. It's the same reaction. Oh, that's awful.
I don't know how we do it. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
It's like, come on, mate.
It should be much more severe reaction.
We're very much like that. Yeah.
Restrained. Deluge.
Good. Yes.
I can do it. You could do it as well.
The mnemonic is going to help you, I think.
Deluge. I remember. Del Boy.
So, a load of water all in one go. Like, if for example, I've got this bottle of water, sorry, and I pour it all over my desk, there's a deluge of water that's going to ruin my keyboard. So a large amount of water, that comes in one go. Like it kind of appears out of nowhere.
Yes. Yeah.
The sound effect helped, I think.
Definitely. If you didn't have the sound effect, no one would have understood. This is the start of the flood, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inundating.
So inundating, the verb inundate, and to completely overwhelm something. Now, in this case, it's completely overwhelming something with water, like it's completely covered in water. But, things like you'll hear things like when the Oasis tickets went on sale, the Ticketmaster website was inundated with people trying to buy tickets. Like it's completely overwhelmed. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very, very common, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. We are inundated with comments on these videos. Actually, we're not. But if you've got a comment about this video, please put it in the comments. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
We'd love to be inundated with comments.
We would love to be inundated with comments. Sweeping away.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe people know this one when they're cleaning their house. They're like sweeping away all the dust or whatever.
Yes, that's right.
But it's like to remove or to carry off water. Imagine like you're just walking down High Street and suddenly a deluge of water comes and you're just swept off down to other end of the street.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Would you say that would you say that Dorothy was swept away by the tornado in Wizard of Oz?
Oh, right. I wonder where we were going with this.
Could it be?
I'm like, who's Dorothy? My first thought, like, who's Dorothy? Like, is somebody I'm supposed to know? But all right, I get it. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically to be moved quickly, essentially.
Yeah. I did wonder where it were going. Like, what?
And then the last one is, I haven't written it down. I just saw it now. If it was a good one, displace.
To be moved to a certain area. So in this case, it's kind of a nice way of saying that people lost their homes.
Yeah.
So they were displaced. They're not in the place that they're supposed to be. And you'll usually hear this with disasters like earthquakes and floods, where people are not in their homes because they can't be, or with war as well. People are displaced due to war. Refugees move to other countries.
Especially at the start of the Ukrainian war, that was a big thing.
Yeah. A lot of people displaced.
Ukrainian people were displaced, moved away to different places, didn't they? Okay. Nice. Let's go through the second two paragraphs. Here we go. In response to the disaster, the Spanish government deployed additional military and police personnel to assist in rescue and relief efforts. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez described the flooding as the second deadliest in Europe this century, highlighting the unprecedented nature of the event. The severity of the floods has prompted scrutiny of Spain's warning systems and disaster preparedness. Critics argue that the existing infrastructure and emergency protocols was insufficient to handle such an extreme weather event, calling for comprehensive reviews and improvements to mitigate future risks. Okay. Personnel.
So it's a fancy way of saying people, really, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, it's a fancy way of saying people, basically, usually in an official capacity. For example, I think, police personnel is in this one, you said? Yeah. Military personnel. So people that officially belong to that group for whatever reason.
Yeah, 100%.
I guess you could say like workers, basically.
Yeah, people who work for a company or a big group, I suppose, yeah. Unprecedented. This comes up a lot in the news.
Yeah, like
everything is unprecedented, it feels like.
It seems like it these days, doesn't it? Never seen before, never happened before, never done before, something like that.
Yeah, spot on. It's unprecedented that Tottenham just can't win.
Unprecedented that Tottenham win Premier League.
It would be an unprecedented thing. Leicester's win was unprecedented. Like
that was pretty cool. Like I think everybody, like other than like your team, everybody kind of wanted it to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're probably in the Championship, so yeah, we didn't care.
I didn't care, but I think like as a fan of football, everybody was kind of like, yeah,
100%. Scrutiny.
So the verb scrutinize. And it means to really, really carefully examine something.
Hmm.
You know, pay the closest possible attention you can to something. Like it's like the exact opposite of reading the terms and conditions on a website because nobody actually reads them. But like if you did the exact opposite and read every single word and thought about every single thing, you would scrutinize it, and that's scrutiny.
Quite a common collocation is under scrutiny.
Yeah. So somebody is being examined by the police or something.
Yeah. So just to go for the hat trick, people should really scrutinize Tottenham's performances because they're just not up to par. There we go. And did you see there's a couple of football references as well? I said hat trick at the start.
I get it.
You get the full package of me, you see.
Just if I were you, I would just never show your face anywhere near White Hart Lane.
Just mic drop. I'm out. Critics. So I could do one here as well.
I'm gonna say Stu is being very critical of Tottenham these days. So someone who disapproves or points out the faults of something else. Yes, Stu.
I would never.
Yeah.
I'm always kind to every person in the world.
That's true. I've seen it happen. I know. First time.
Seen it happen. You've been with me since day one. Okay, let's go through some tricky pronunciation from this article. So we got these words. Repeat after me. Catastrophic. Deluge. Casualties. Unprecedented. Scrutiny. And insufficient. There we go. So I think we can go straight into the shadowing now. Yeah. So let's bust a groove, and we're going to hit through this whole thing here.
What decade is it?
Remember the
Bust a Groove
PlayStation 1 game with that character? Sorry. There's so many.
Absolutely caught me off guard. That brilliant.
Let's bust a groove and get through this. Here we go. We're going to go through the shadowing. So if you want to practice, please follow me. Here we go. In late October 2024, the Valencia region of Spain experienced catastrophic flooding, resulting in one of Europe's most severe storm disasters in recent history. Within an 8-hour period, certain areas received rainfall equivalent to an entire year's average, leading to widespread devastation. The deluge caused rivers to overflow, inundating towns and villages and sweeping away vehicles, homes, and infrastructure. Emergency services were overwhelmed as they conducted rescue operations for residents trapped by the rapidly rising waters. The floods resulted in significant casualties and left thousands displaced. In response to the disaster, the Spanish government deployed additional military and police personnel to assist in rescue and relief efforts. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez described the flooding as the second deadliest in Europe this century, highlighting the unprecedented nature of the event. The severity of the floods has prompted scrutiny of Spain's warning systems and disaster preparedness. Critics argued that the existing infrastructure and emergency protocols were insufficient to handle such an extreme weather event, calling for comprehensive reviews and improvements to mitigate future risks. You know, the problem with that was I was congratulating myself in my head before.
I've got it.
I was like, this was a really good one. And then my eyes hazed over with that word, and I couldn't.
Rookie mistake, which I'm about to repeat.
Devastated. That was unprecedented. No, it wasn't, because it's happened.
Okay. What's the opposite? Is precedented a word?
Precedented.
Yeah, the opposite of unprecedented. Like it's seen all the time. It's precedented. Is that a word? It seems like it probably was at one point.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Anyway. Here we go. Northern version. In late October 2024, the Valencia region of Spain experienced catastrophic flooding, resulting in one of Europe's most severe storm disasters in recent history. Within an 8-hour period, certain areas received rainfall equivalent to an entire year's average, leading to widespread devastation. The deluge caused rivers to overflow, inundating towns and villages and sweeping away vehicles, homes, and infrastructure. Emergency services were overwhelmed as they conducted rescue operations for residents trapped by the rapidly rising waters. The floods resulted in significant casualties and left thousands displaced. In response to the disaster, the Spanish government deployed additionally military. Good job, Dan. In response to the disaster, the Spanish government deployed additional military and police personnel to assist in rescue and relief efforts. The Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, described the flooding as the second deadliest in Europe this century, highlighting the unprecedented nature of the event. The severity of the floods has prompted scrutiny of Spain's warning systems and disaster preparedness. Critics argue that the existing infrastructure and emergency protocols were insufficient to handle such an extreme weather event, calling for comprehensive reviews and improvements to mitigate future risks.
Okay, nice job. So let's move on to the third article for today, which is a local news article. Now,
I'm looking forward to this.
Dan's had a peek already, so don't.
I did. Usually I don't look, but I accidentally caught a peek of it earlier.
So he saw the title, unfortunately. So if you see a fake reaction coming up, then you can say to him, "We know you didn't see it."
Like Macaulay Culkin.
Just move my camera by accident.
Oh, you silly Billy.
Silly Billy. Okay, so if your name is Billy and you're watching, I'm sorry. So here we go. Today's article is from the south of England, the south coast specifically, from a news outlet called the Argus. So I was looking for things.
Hang on. The Argos?
No. Argus. Gus.
You're not just going to go there and buy stuff out of a catalogue with one of them little pens?
Is that still around, Argus?
Surely not. Surely not.
It's down at Blockbusters.
I mean, even if it is still around, there's no way you have to go there, look in a catalogue, and write it down on a piece of paper with a little pen and take it to account. For people that haven't lived in England, you've got no idea what we're talking about. But if you've spent any time in England in the 90s, you know exactly what we're on about.
Argus is like a store that you could pretty much buy anything. And it's like
mail order, but you went to a shop
and you looked in this massive catalogue and you noted down the code and then...
Yeah, it got like a code and you had to write it down on a piece of paper and then take it to the till, buy it. And then like there's a magical warehouse in back that's got all this stuff. And basically it's Santa's workshop, innit? Like,
basically, It's a huge... I don't know. The buildings didn't seem that big, but they do have everything out the back, don't they?
I reckon basically it's like the shop version of Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah,
essentially. The best way I can put it.
Or before Amazon, yeah.
Like prehistoric Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. So
anyway, sorry to interrupt. The newspaper's called the Argos.
But basically we're seeing whether it's gone bankrupt or not. That was the thing. But the newspaper is not spelled the same. It's Argus. So
Argus. Okay, got it.
Okay, and the title of this one is Santa's Elves to Compete in Olympic-Style Contest for Cancer Charity. So it's kind of an uplifting one compared to what we've been looking at for the rest of this session.
I tried to ruin that by changing it to Squid Game-style contest, but...
Yeah, unfortunately. If it was, that would be... I don't know if
like Hunger Games for Santa elves.
I can survive with it being on Netflix and knowing it's fake. To watch something that's real and that's Battle Royale version.
What a game! What a film! Anyway.
Have you seen the second one?
I nearly said a bad word. It's terrible.
It's not as good as the first one, of course.
You're being nice. It's awful.
I would say so, but it's not as good,
No, never is.
Anyway, if you haven't seen it, it's like is it a horror film? But it's not really a horror film, but it is.
It's a weird thing in
it as well, isn't it? Really?
There's still comedy in it, like in a weird way. But
the deaths in it are just crazy. I'm not a horror guy for that film.
A bit like Kill Bill, when people die, they're like stuff like
yeah. Exactly.
Bit OTT, but anyway, very cool film.
Kind of gone off track here. So I'll read through this and then we'll go through a few words and then do a quiz afterwards, okay? So here we go. The Youth Cancer Trust, based in Dorset, is staging the Elf Olympics to help spread festive cheer and help teenagers and young adults living with and beyond cancer across the UK and Ireland. Nine of Santa's elves are competing in a rigorous contest of agility, endurance, and speed, vying for the prestigious honor of accompanying Santa on his Christmas Eve journey. The competing elves include the cheerful Merry Berry, the musical Elvis
Oh my.
Presently, and the spirited Jolly Holly. The six other contenders are Sprinkles, Wish, Peppermint, Jingles, Tinsel, and Snowflake. Members of the public are invited to join the fun by making a £2 donation to predict which elf will emerge victorious. Each entry will automatically be entered into a prize draw to win a £150 Amazon voucher. Wendy Parrott of Youth Cancer Trust said, "The Elf Olympics represents the perfect blend of Christmas magic and meaningful support for young people facing cancer. Every donation, no matter how small, helps us continue providing vital support for young cancer patients and their families." Okay, it's quite a nice thing. I mean,
Yeah, it's a great thing to be doing. Yeah,
yeah,
it's lovely.
it's really,
Absolutely
really
lovely. Well, I lost it, the name of the elves, to be honest. Like,
presently.
well played. Elvis presently. Well done.
I don't get it presently. It could have just done Elvis.
Elves make presents.
Yeah, no, I know, but
It's a bit far, isn't it? Like you had one right there, and you've gone too far.
Elvis Presley would be fine, but Elvis Presley, yeah, that's good as well. Mary Berry. If you ever watch the British Bake Off, it's a play on Mary. What's her name? There's a very famous baker on there, Mary Berry, I think her name is, but they've changed it to Mary. So we got some nice.
There'll be a lot of puns. Yeah.
Lots of puns here. The other ones, yeah.
Just kind of Christmassy words, aren't they? Like sprinkles.
Words, but could be names for cats.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Or people that vote for the left wing on here. Snowflakes.
I'm pretty sure I've seen each one of these running for an election at some point.
Especially in England.
In England, we had the wildest election. Like
I always love it. It's like Elmo is there next to
Elmo's been one. There's like
what's
the guy,
Binface?
the guy with the massive.
Unless he's like Count Binface or something.
Al Murray. Al Murray did it one year.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? I remember that.
Pub landlord. Yeah, there's some
people, because like anybody's allowed to run for local government, basically. So people do it as a laugh.
Yeah, and they do it,
Yeah, and they always like Count Binface, I think he's called. He's like a guy who's got a bin on his head, and he always just runs wherever the likely prime minister runs. He always runs in the same area.
Yeah, because they always
get on TV. Yeah,
that's what Al Murray did for Farage.
Yeah,
he was on stage when he lost the first time when he was UKIP.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, 100%. So let's go through a couple of these words, and we'll finish off. We've got some nice words here. Festive cheer. I think you hear this time.
Especially this time of year. Festive cheer. Feeling of happiness related to Christmas, basically, that Christmas New Year period. It's also a euphemism for drinking during the day in December. Day drinking. Bit of festive cheer.
Yeah, every day of December. Rigorous.
Yeah, very demanding. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be rigorous. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be demanding.
Yeah, 100%. Rigorous. That's a nice word. I like that one. Vying. I also like this. Like, there's some good ones.
Yeah. Vying. So I guess the verb would be to vie for something. Yeah, to compete. It's more than compete. Like a tournament, for example. There's like X amount of teams vying to become the champion. They're competing to try and do something.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Prestigious. This is quite a common word, a useful one.
Yeah, prestigious, highly respected or admired or coveted. It's something that everybody would want.
Coveted is a nice word as well. Something that everybody wants,
yeah.
And then last one, spirited.
So spirited where's this in the article? Yeah, the spirited, Jolly Holly. So if somebody's spirited, they're showing a lot of enthusiasm, I suppose. But generally, we could describe somebody's spirit as being like their mood or their attitude towards something. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. Spot on. So, You've summed it up perfectly. You could say that. You could also say though that somebody has put in a spirited performance.
Yeah, they put a lot of effort in, a lot of enthusiasm went into it.
Yeah. Okay, this is nice. I like this.
Hmm.
Oh, there's one more. Sorry, right at the bottom there that I didn't notice is blend.
Oh, okay. So yeah, a mix of different things. Like if you're painting, you'll blend colors together, or you can blend.
But that's
Uh,
like something you see. You can see a physical thing, is
hmm,
whereas a lot
can
of
blend cultures together.
yeah, I think blend's a useful one to know because it does come up a lot, and you can automatically just think of the physical side rather
Hmm.
than this is like here it's a perfect blend of Christmas magic and meaningful support. So it's
Like this podcast is a blend of serious news and us being idiots. Nice.
yes, yes, and teaching, of course, always. We're always thinking about
a dash of teaching.
dash of teaching and a smidgen of quiz. So we're going to go
Speaking
on.
of which,
Yeah, we're literally about to go on to the quiz. Sorry, I put it on the wrong document. Bear with me one
sorry,
sec. But
sorry.
yeah, a smidgen. Smidgen's a nice word.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, have you? Am I on
a
the wrong document?
smidge, a smidgen.
Smidgen,
By the way, everybody listening, if you're not sure, that means it's a tiny little bit of something.
like a tad.
God, here we go.
A tad. We got so many words for like a small.
Also, scutch, I found out, like, scutch up, like move up a little bit.
Scooch. Would you say?
Scooch, yeah. Scooch, yeah. It's actually from a Japanese word.
Shut up.
Scotch means a little bit in Japanese.
Really?
Yeah. When I found that out, I was like, what?
Wow, that's wicked. Well, there's not many words that transfer from Japanese into English.
That's one of them.
So many from English to Japanese. Yeah.
And honcho is another one that we use. The head honcho is a Japanese word that means honcho is the boss. Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah, you're not the only one learning something today, guys. It's me as well. So that's interesting. Those are two that I would not have picked out as words that come over. Just sushi, sumo, or lots of food words.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, those two are quite interesting because, like you said, they don't usually go that way. So
yeah. Well, we do take English is basically everybody's language put into one, really, isn't it? Like
well, I saw a quote recently. It's like it's 3 different Germanic languages in a French coat.
Yeah, pretty much. It's we do take smidgens of different languages. I'm going to force that one down your neck. Okay, we've got the quiz. So for this quiz article today, I'm going to read through the first question, and then Dan's going to give you the potential answers. Can you get them? These are all questions. These are all words that you have to guess that we've used today, that we've taught you. So let's see. Let's round up the thing, round up your knowledge, and see how you do. Here we go. So the first sentence is: the government introduced new policies to the economy during the recession. And the possible answers
are to sweep away, to vie, to bolster, or to mitigate.
Okay, we'll give you 5 seconds, starting now. And the answer is, it's me, isn't it? The answer is bolster. The government introduced new policies to bolster the economy during the recession to strengthen it. Yeah.
We'll learn. Went that wrong goal. That water we're drinking.
Number 2, Dan, let's go.
Okay. So the powerful floodwaters managed to cars and small buildings in the affected area. What are the options, Stu?
The possible answers are bolster, sweep away, unprecedented, and vie.
Okay, the answer's coming in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. So the correct answer, of course, is sweep away. The powerful floodwaters managed to sweep away cars and small buildings in the affected area. Good stuff.
Beautiful. Question number 3. Let's see if you can get this one correct. The sentences. The region experienced an Heat wave, breaking all previous temperature records. Dan, try your best to give us the answers. Here we go.
Unprecedented, bolster, vie, and sweep away.
Okay. We'll give the answer in 5. Dun, 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 4. Dun, 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 3. Dun, 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 2. Dun, 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 1. Dun, 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 dun. You've already used it. I can't get it.
Yeah, but
I stole it.
nobody noticed. Don't worry.
And the answer is the region experienced an unprecedented is the answer, heat wave, breaking all previous temperature records.
Oh, dear.
Okay. And
number 4. So athletes from around the world will for the championship title in next year's competition. What we got?
We've got bolster, vie, unprecedented, and sweep away. I could give a bit more different answers, couldn't I? They're all pretty much the same, it feels.
Just in a different order.
Yeah. Ooh, you would never have known if I didn't say. Okay.
So answers coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Anticlimax at the end.
I was going to do like a Street Fighter 2 thing, you know, like when it counts down, like 10, 9, 8.
I can't remember what the
I kind of panicked.
I was trying to think, what's the chase? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
Anyway, the answer is the athletes from around the world will vie for the championship title in next year's competition.
There we go.
Just like me and Stu were vying for who could make the worst job of the countdown today. And it was a draw.
I win. Fantastic news. Okay, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much. If you last this long, you're getting a lot of great English practice in. And thank you for joining. Please put a comment and give us a like. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you there.